Yo, DA, I keep hearing all this talk about we supposed to be marching in Washington, D.C. on October the 16th. But why are we marching?
It's time to start building. Marching on Washington in October is 1,000,000 black men standing up for his women, his children. October 16th is the appointment, and we call this the Day of Atonement.
And what is the meaning of atonement, G?
Means to atone for wrong or any injury that you committed or was done unto you by another. Time to atone, cause we are flesh and bone of each other. This is a day of prayer and reconciliation. We help to build this nation. Where's our reparations? We ain't totally dependent on this government's help. We can pool our resources, we can do for self. Black women always stood when we wasn't strong. But this time we ask your sister, please stay home and let the black man show he love you and his children. And let him march on Washington as one in a million. Justified, and this revolution here will be televised. Standing for all those helpless black men you hung, all black women whom you cut to kill a young, all of our ancestors that fought in your wars and died, all of our leaders you killed just to stop our rise. Open the files, now we demand the truth. We ain't asking you for nothing, we demanding you. We sick and tired of you treating us unfairly. Now we 1,000,000 black men in solidarity, standing now for our women, boys and girls. It'll be a shot that'll be heard all over the world, and everyone will say the black man is up and living, and I'll be damned if I miss it. I'm one in a million. Yeah. I'm one in a million. You be there. And for those who can't make it to the march, listen, talking to Muslim Masons and all Christians, revolutionaries and nationalists. Check, this ain't no Islamic thing, this is for all blacks. Every street organization, the call is on. For every black woman that will support us at home.
This space as it fills Monday with men, black men, to meet the call.
1,000,000 sober, disciplined, committed, dedicated, inspired black men.
Issued by Minister Louis Farrakhan.
We stand before the world to say to the world, the image that you have of black men is not the image of who and what we really are.
Not
for demonstration, a lawful assembly, and we want to make sure that our First Amendment rights are equally protected.
There was another March on Washington in 1963 to ensure those rights for minorities. The civil rights movement included men and women, whites, Jews. 250,000 gathered at Lincoln's foot to hear Dr. King's dream for them. The black men will face the other way, toward a Congress they do not entirely trust.
Amen. Some of our brothers in corporate America say, well, I'm a good father. I don't abuse my wife, and I pay my bills, and I'm a decent man. I don't have to go to Washington. That's your problem. You're a self-righteous fool.
One of those not attending the march, Georgia.
Black men are coming from all across this country, regardless of their ideological differences, their religious persuasions, because we recognize and have matured as a people that we have to put aside our differences in order to properly address the problems that are facing our communities. So it's a day of unity. It's the day of coming together. We've got a lot of work to do after the 16th. It's been a lot of work, a lot of energy, and effort has been put forth to get us to this point, and we have to keep it together for the 17th.
You'll see a lot of strong brothers who may shed some tears, because it's going to be a powerful thing happening.
And those tears have already begun to flow. Earlier today, I saw an old man sitting on a park bench, and he was weeping. And I walked over and asked him what was wrong. And he said that all he could tell me was that he was so proud that he had lived long enough to see this day. And if crowd estimates by some of the officials here are correct and the park fills up tomorrow, then that old man certainly won't
a family
leave.
affair. Talk about a road trip. Dozens of men load up and line up as they prepare to leave for the nation's capital. Similar launches were seen all over Chicago. Hundreds and thousands of African Americans willing to brave the trip. The mood is upbeat for those going and for those staying home. Well, as we could see, there were plenty of men willing to endure the cramped quarters and the 10 to 12 hours it takes to drive to the nation's capital. James Cage was waiting to fly to Washington with his father and grandfather.
We do need to take responsibility for our own problems, and so that's why we're going.
James
brought together as a positive thing, strong, you know, and people respect strength.
Jamon Brown is headed for D.C. with his father and stepbrother. They have their own reasons for marching.
We just want to show that that blacks can achieve unity when we need to. That's real important.
And we found another family connection here. Lawrence Hanks is taking his 13-year-old son, Stephen, to march on the Mall.
He'll see for his generation and the generations to come that we'll be a people that'll be able to come together and do bigger.
They don't want to come. I think that they're wrong because it's about supporting black men united, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're doing something positive, so I feel that everybody should support it.
All the negative stereotypes that's put on the black young man, I feel that if we get together and show that we can support each other, that it'll show the nation, you know, that we're serious. You know, there are positive young black men, and a lot of times you don't see that.
He cannot be lifted even by the adulation of the public. He is totally dependent on God. And if God lifts him up, he'd be lifted up if nobody showed up here but him. And if God drops him, all of the people on earth could gather together and they wouldn't be able to lift him up. So no, self-aggrandizement has never, ever. I've known Minister Farrakhan now for 38 years, and I have never, ever known him to have that kind of an ego.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about anybody else showing up here today. That's already been taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Abdullah Muhammad, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
All the things I done did all of my life wrong. You know, all the people that that I may have disappointed. You know what I mean? But me, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something. Praise be to the Lord for my grandchildren and my children's children, and on and on and on. You understand?
Where we going? Where we going? Leave me alone.
October 16th, we set the fire. 1 million black men, we came alive, cause there's some things we need to get rectified. Hear me? You can say it was a national call, how we peacefully assembled on Washington Mall. But just from the million-man march, little spark in your heart, put a charge in all of y'all. It's fun, 1 million women, million moms, million youth, and 1 million family march, and 1 million reparations, and 1 million workers too. Even though we had a lot of marches, the condition of our people is not improving. A lot of our communities are worse than before. It ain't no time for a march, we should start a movement. We need that ongoing, sustained, constant flow. A divinely inspired thing for the downtrodden, some for us that's poor. We need us a coalition that can go against the injustice, Joe. And if you claim you're a leader, be a leader. Every time the people see you, man, be on your post. We need to take the minds of the best we find and unite them quickly. Otherwise, our lives we have will just demise in the plight of these enemies. So I'm blowing my trumpet loud to attract the crowd to let them know what the news is. October 14th to the 16th, be in Washington for the millions more movements. It don't matter what set you on, what block, what city you reppin' from, what post anywhere in America. There's a movement that has begun. It's the millions more movement. It don't matter what church you love, what religion you consider you certain of. You a Muslim, Christian, etc. It's time to put it all under one rug. It's the millions more movement. It don't matter what class you're from, middle class, upper class, lower class, or none. This time bring your wife, daughter, and son. It's a family reunion. It's the millions more movement. the march to stay alive, and us still living hard in our daily life because we still feel we are to wait for whites to give us the solution to our problem. When they part of producing our problem, can't see the solution to solve them. Is we gonna have to solve them on our terms? Can you see where DA going with that? It's not a problem with whites, it's a problem with blacks. And the problem is we gonna take charge and solve it, cause now responsibility is on our backs. It's a wonderful thing to think of every black man, woman, and child and sing. Cause with that we can always dream a king and do things human beings won't believe in seeing. We are the most beautiful people as long as we are in tune as a people. And unity is all we need as a people. And overnight we'll have our freedom. This to me is more movement, no matter what set you on, what block, what city you reppin' from, what post anywhere in America. Cause the movement that has begun. This to me is more movement, no matter what church you love, what religion you consider you certain of. Come on, Muslim, Christian, etc. It's time to put it all under one rug. It's to me is more movement, no matter what class you're from, middle class, upper class, or class of none. Everybody bring your wife, daughter, and son. It's a family reunion. This to me is more movement, headed up by Farrakhan and every organizer leader in your area. Joining hands cause they seek and care for us, showing strength and the power of one. This to me is more movement.
It's finally time for the truth. It's time for me and you.
Go ahead, sister.
It's time for a movement. Hey.
They seek and care for us, showing strength and the power of one. This to me is more movement.
It's finally time for the truth. It's time for me and you.
Go ahead, sister.
It's time for a movement. Hey.
I'm here with a couple of educators from Chicago. To my immediate left is Stephen Jones. He's an assistant principal, he told me there, and to his left, Dr. John West. Dr. West, let me ask you first. As an educator, you're going to go back to Chicago. You're going to have to take a message to the young black people there. Do you introduce this in the schools?
Well, I don't know if you'll introduce it to the schools, but certainly I would like to take the message back to Chicago, because what we're saying that many of our young, especially African Americans, are in prisons. They're dropping out of school, and I really would like to send a message to all of those young men that there is hope, there's a concern, and there's people that care about them. And I think if we all pull together as a community and as a race, I think we can lick some of these problems that we have in our community. But one thing for sure that we are missing, especially Chicago, there are jobs. We have jobs and housing. It's a very concern of all of us as educators. And until we get those jobs and housing, I think that's a concern of all of us.
Mr. Jones, what kind of a message do you take?
I'm here for atonement. I'm here to unify the black community, to be role models for our students, to let them know that there's hope in America. And I'm here to bring the black families together and just see to it that our children remain in school, continue to get an education, and to let them know that there is hope. So this is the reason why I'm here.
The word atonement we're going to hear over and over again today. What exactly does that mean to you?
Unity in the black community, unity in the African American community, unity with America, unity with the whole world, to let everyone know that we are here to inspire all people of our country to get an education, to continue to receive an education.
Dr. West.
This is not a place of a I guess you say a concert. We're here because we're business. We've taken off from our jobs and everything that we have, and we're supporting this because we need this unity in America throughout for all of us.
And Mr. Jones, you said that Minister Farrakhan, you yourself, you say you're a Christian, he's a Muslim. How do these two reconcile? Is there a difference there?
Well, everyone is here for a different reason. I'm here as a Christian, and I have listened to the message that Mr. Farrakhan has delivered, and that message is that we must come together.
That on the last day, the sheep will be on the right side and the goats on the left.
Ida,
and if Jesus,
I want to say,
who was a forgiving man, and who gave his life for all men, knew that even with truth in glaring light before them, some would still choose wrong. How could we expect to get all of us on the same side? It's not going to happen. But truth stands as itself alone, and you must claim it and capture it.
And they're saying those who hear it will hear it.
That's right.
And that's exactly their lead-in that I need to tell you. What was it that turned the page that made one Caucasian stand up and say, I would go out to my death for justice at this point?
What did it for you, Ida?
It was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Silas Muhammad, two strongest black men I have ever read and seen and heard of.
Where you from, brothers? Where you going, brothers? Million Man March. I'm at the Million Man March rally for the Million Man March.
Stop for a minute, Lieutenant, open up your boys and books, and then take a big fat look. From a black perspective, how we've been dealt. We deal with you, we can't be true with you. Gotta be real with you, you killed our people, now the deal is killing you. The reason is to free our people from this prison. And the truth is definition. It's all you know, we in the house. Support the brothers! Kind of rap it's the black gang, and you understand. Niggas dropping bombs in their head. We coming, we coming. Hey! I'm so like man didn't go. The way you ain't go, right here. The way you ain't go, right here.
Check it. Arm, leg, arm, head. My peoples with braids, waves, dreads, and bald heads. A million strong doing duty, wisdom, strength, beauty. Who my R's, they bar, some moon star. And it's our holy day. Come sober, smooth B in D.C. 16th of October. In unity is power. None can devour. Hour after hour.
Imagine us traveling back to Nazareth, fabulous. Raise up the black dead slaves like last when our chest raised through the blaze. Holy essays, no more death days. Affect slaves possessed and killed. It's the last days of time. We got to raise a mind. Brothers walk around dumb, different and blind. Letting the earth always carry eggs. Our pledge to never fall off the ledge. A fascinating family like Mr. Fledge. God prepared the table for us in the presence of our enemy. Now we soon to be one in unity. 1, 2, 3, I'm a G. But the God inside is that G I chose to be. The world is a stage and everybody plays a part. I'm not considered the one with a sensitive heart. When I say black man, you say go. Black man, black man. Where you at, go? Right here. So where you at, go? Right here. Somebody stole me. You took me from Kuta to Kobe and mold me in a way that you treat me but still hold me. What you trying to pull? Eating up like cannibals. Whatever happened to that 40 acres and that animal? Now you trying to use integration just to fool us. Like Malcolm said, we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled. Mama crying and I ain't lying. I'm going to Washington for justice. I'ma get it or die trying. Don't hesitate. He's at the gate and there's a million black men in one place to set it straight. So black women applaud the black guard of DJ Smart with the Million Man Mars.
Damn, that's how you know the world about to end. Rain, hail, snow, earthquakes, and a million black men up under God indivisible. With liberty and justice for all, cause y'all done made us miserable with this American nightmare. That's why October 16th we gon' be right there like, yeah, the same brothers that you won't gone. Well, we about 1 million deep on your front lawn. It's going on from here to Abraham Lincoln statue. And every brother here thinking, yeah, we need to holler at you about this overdue business. With the black Muslim, Christian, Jew, and Jehovah's Witness. To get this out in the open, the only way is for us to declare a black holy day. The homies say that they rolling, plus we got family 40 miles up patrolling.
Where you at, y'all? Right here. So 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 where you at, y'all? Right here.
what is on, and brother, you're the prey. Serving time in jail, it just ain't the way. I'm living so hard, baby, that my hair's gray. We gotta make a change. It's a brand new day. A new world order, a brand new day. It's a new day. A change of mind for the human race. It's a new world order, a brand new day. A change of mind for the human race. Operation in flux, and it's on the way. We just marched 1 million plus the other day. Look, we all witnessed the sweat rolling down Miss Liberty's head. She knows the sleeping giant is no longer sleeping dead. Oh, what a fulfillment of prophecy. Let us teach the children freedom's never been free. It's okay to cry, go ahead and cry, 'cause Jesus wept, but hope and faith be kept. It's a new day. World order, a brand new day. It's a change of mind for the human race. It's a new world order, a brand new day. It's a change of mind.
Brothers and sisters, this is one of the greatest days that I've ever encountered in my life, to see over 1 million black men here in Washington, D.C. I'm so thankful to our dear beloved brother, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I know the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad would be certainly pleased, well pleased, with the attendance of so many black men with such positive force here today. You can feel the electricity. So I'm thankful to Almighty God, Allah, that He has blessed us to maintain the history, so we will never, ever forget this great show of force today with the black man and the black woman here in America. So I thank Almighty God, Allah, for blessing us. And may Allah bless.
It's all about black men sticking together, coming together to handle our business, straight up, in our community and everything. Straight up.
I support it 1,000%. It can't be beat. It is definitely what the black man in this country needs. Absolutely, beyond a doubt.
I'd like to say I love Minister Farrakhan for what he's doing. He's the only one, I believe, today that could actually bring about the change that we need for our people.
In 1963, we left as dreamers, called by Martin Luther King, the man who ordained me. For 32 years, our dreams have been shattered and scattered. Yet today, 1995, on October 16th, we got to say thank you to Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm so glad that in 1979, I gave him the keys to my church when no other church would open up its doors for him. Because today he stands as the message and the messenger.
Those of you who know the plight of my father knows that whenever any black man is in trouble, he always comes to your aid. Come on. Never be ashamed to stand up and say that Farrakhan is a friend of the black man. Challenge all of the leaders that when you are asked by your enemy and those who oppressed us, my father is not a bigot. He's not a racist. He is not an anti-Semite. And we have the history in our archive that will prove everything that I'm telling you. So, Farrakhan is in your midst today. You don't have to think about what he said or listen to anybody about what he said. Call him yourself and ask him what he said. I present to you the man that God has given this vision to. For without the vision,
say to you that my Father is here to speak to you. So listen to him very carefully. I bring to you my leader, my teacher, my guide, my father, your brother, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let us receive him.
And so now,
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yo, DA, I keep hearing all this talk about we supposed to be marching in Washington, D.C. on October the 16th. But why are we marching?
It's time to start building. Marching on Washington in October is 1,000,000 black men standing up for his women, his children. October 16th is the appointment, and we call this the Day of Atonement.
And what is the meaning of atonement, G?
Means to atone for wrong or any injury that you committed or was done unto you by another. Time to atone, cause we are flesh and bone of each other. This is a day of prayer and reconciliation. We have to build this nation. Where's our reparations? We ain't totally dependent on this government's help. We can pool our resources, we can do for self. Black women always stood when we wasn't strong. But this time we ask, and sister, please stay home and let the black man show he love you and his children. And let him march on Washington as one in a million. Been justified, and this revolution here will be televised. Standing for all those helpless black men you hung, all black women whom you cut to kill a young, all of our ancestors that fought in your wars and died, all of our leaders you killed just to stop our rise. Open the files, now we demand the truth. We ain't asking you for nothing, we demanding you. We sick and tired of you treating us unfairly. Now we 1,000,000 black men in solidarity, standing now for our women, boys and girls. It'll be a shot that'll be heard all over the world, and everyone will say the black man is up and living, and I'll be damned if I miss it. I'm one in a million. Yeah. I'm one in a million. You be there. And for those who can't make it to the march, listen, talking to Muslim Masons and all Christians, revolutionaries and nationalists. Check, this ain't no Islamic thing, this is for all blacks. Every street organization to call is